We're going to continue by filling in the side. So we're going to press tab to go into edit mode, and the first thing we're going to do is actually get rid of these two vertices here, so we can select these two. These are kind of the center of the circle. We're not going to need this part of the circle for right here. So if you want to, you can do 3 for side view, and it's these two right here. So just select one, hold shift, and select the other. Then we can just press delete and choose vertices. The next thing we're going to do is merge these two up to here. So we're going to select this one, hold shift, select this one, continue holding shift and select this one, then do alt M and choose at last. Next we're going to select this vertex. We're going to hold control and select this vertex. That should get these 4. Then we're going to hold control still and right click to select this one, and continue holding control and right click to select this one. So you should have 4 here and 4 here. Now we're going to do shift and Q to bridge edge loops. If you don't have that hotkey set up, go to mesh, edges, and choose bridge edge loops. To set up the hotkey, right click, it'll say add shortcut, just click on that, hover your mouse over this area and do shift and Q, and the hotkey will now be shift and Q. So if you don't have the hotkey, just left click on this and then you're all set. Now we're going to right click on this vertex. We're going to press delete and choose vertices. We don't need that vertex at the moment. Then we're going to select these two. Just select one, hold shift, select the other, and you can press F to make a face. It's going to make a face in this area right here. And to fill in this part right here, we're going to add in an edge loop right here and then another edge loop right here. If we take a look at top view, when we add in those edge loops, and it's number pad 7 for top view, by the way. This edge loop, which is going to be here, is going to help us define the end of where this part is and where it should start curving, and then this edge loop will help us actually to curve it for this part right here. So it will also help us to create quads in this area. So we're going to go to side view by pressing 3 on the number pad, which I've already done, and then we're going to do Control R, left click, and just drag this over roughly to right where this is. If you want it to be exactly where this is, just grab it on the y-axis, hold control and snap it there. So just grab it on the y-axis, hold control, hover over this point, and then let go of the mouse and you're all set. And then you can do the same for this one. Do Control R, left click, drag it over. If you want it to be perfect, grab it on the y-axis, hold control, snap it there. And then we're just going to select these two vertices and press F twice, and that's going to fill in this area nicely for us. The next thing we'll want to do is shape this better to match up with our reference. We can bring these up a little bit to match up with our reference some. So if we select this one, and then I'm going to go to the back side, hold control and select this one. So you should have from here back to here. Then you can go back to side view with 3 on the number pad and Z for wireframe. Then we're just going to bring this up until it matches the reference. Then do the same here. We're going to select this vertex, go to the back, hold control, select this vertex, 3 for side view, Z for wireframe, and just bring this up until it matches the reference. Now we're going to press Z to get out of wireframe. We want to connect this point back up because remember we deleted the vertex over here which connected it. And a good way to do that is actually going to be to add in a nice edge loop going around here to help correct the shading as well. In order to do that, we're going to do K for the knife cut tool. We're going to go down here and just left click, and then go up here and you can left click again. Just make sure you're not crossing over any of these lines or any of these vertices here. Then we can just go over to here and left click again and then press enter. So now we have this line to work with. We're going to select this vertex and shift select this one, then do alt M and choose at last to merge those together. Then we can do alt right click, alt and shift right click, and we're going to do Q then E, and if the red dot's on the top, just press F, and then we're going to bring this over sort of like this, so we have a nice even spacing or a nice even distance between each of our points. If you wanted to, you could select this one and kind of move it with G and kind of just give it a bit more shape to it if you want. Then we're just going to go to the back here. We're going to select these two vertices and then select these two. So you should have these two right here, like it's to the left of this part, and these two here. Then you can just press F and fill that in. So now we have that connection back again. and then we'll press 3 for side view. And another thing we want to correct is the curvature in this area. We can see if we do Z for wireframe, it's supposed to curve up like this, but right now we just have it relatively straight. So we want to bring these vertices up, and these vertices up, and these as well, to better match up with our reference. So I'm going to do Z to get out of wireframe, select this vertex, go to the back, hold Control, right click to select this, 3 to go to side view again, Z for wireframe, and just bring this up until it matches up with the curve. And we'll do the same here. We're going to select this vertex, go to the back, hold Control, 3 for side view, Z for wireframe, bring it up, and then do it for this one as well. I might just do it with this vertex and then hold Control, and we'll see how this goes. We'll just bring this up, and if you want to, you can probably bring a couple of these up as well. For this last one, I just selected these 3, so you can do that as well if you'd like to. Then one last thing we can add in is, since we added in a nice edge loop around here, we can do the same for the front if we want to. We can just do K for the knife cut tool and left click down here, go up to here, left click, over to here, left click, over to here, left click, and finally to the end and just left click and press enter. Then we're going to have to merge some of these together. I'm going to select this one, shift select this one, alt M at last. Do the same here, select, shift select, alt M at last, and do the same here. So now we should have a nice curve. We're going to do alt right click, alt and shift right click, continue doing alt and shift right click until you get the entire edge loop. Then we're going to do Q and then E. You can use F if you need to, and just slide this in until you get the shape that you're looking for. Something like that should probably be fine. So that's going to be good for now, and everything should be looking alright. And we're just going to save this by going to File and Save. Thank you to our awesome Patreon supporters. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter yourself, head on over to patreon.com/StephenBrooks. Thank you for your support.